Hi guys, my name is Veronica. Welcome back to Beauty by V. Today's video is going to be nothing like I've ever done before. Basically, I'm going to be doing a warm toned eye look, something that I always do. But I'm going to actually break everything down and do a really detailed talk through on how I do my makeup. On my Instagram videos, it's very hard to see exactly what I'm doing when everything is condensed into just 1 minute. So I'm going to break down everything that I do, how I prep my skin, the types of foundation and primers and things like that that I use for my skin. It's gonna be a long one. I'm just gonna warn you right now, it'll probably be 20 to 30 minutes long. So get comfortable, get a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, whatever it is that floats your boat, and let's get started with this video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Just click the red button down below. You know how to do it. And if you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up for me, and if there's anything that you'd like to see, put it in the comments below. So let's get straight into the video and start with the base. Now, when it comes to makeup, skincare goes hand in hand with makeup. So if you see a recommendation of a foundation on Instagram, don't run out and buy the full size, because you don't know if that foundation is going to work for your skin. So what I always say to people when I recommend a foundation that I really love is to go out to Mecca, Sephora, to Maya, David Jones, wherever it is that you get your foundation from, to get a sample size. Please don't be afraid to ask the assistant for a sample, because there's no point you wasting $50 on a foundation that you're going to absolutely hate. So try it out first. So I'm going to prep my skin. Oh my god, I almost dropped something. Okay, so I'm gonna prep my skin with my favorite, what is this? It's a water gel. I don't like using anything that's too thick on my skin before I put makeup on. I don't want it to feel cakey. I don't want my skin to feel thick and heavy throughout the day. So something that's nice and light, and something like this Neutrogena Hydro Boost water gel works really perfectly for me. And let me know if you guys are digging my new backdrop, which honestly is a Kmart blanket that I bought. I thought I'd change it around, see how it looks. Yeah, let me know if you guys prefer this or my usual background with basically my room setting. So when it comes to prepping the skin, I like to leave the product, whatever moisturizer you're using, on for a good 3 to 5 minutes to allow the product to really absorb into the skin. So I've got a few new products that I bought. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face with the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. Some people think that primer is kind of a gimmick or a novelty or a thing that brands just try and get you to buy just so they can make more money and things like that. But I really do think that primer does help a lot. It is that extra layer of really thin, that extra thin layer of protection between your direct skin and the foundation. So I'm also going to just moisturize my lips because it is winter and my lips haven't gotten extremely dry. So I'm going to also pop on the Maybelline Gigi Hadid Illuminating Liquid Gold, I think it's called. Now I'm not going to use too much of this because it is gold and I am quite yellow toned already. So that's just the amount that I'm going to put on, and I'm not even going to put it all over my face. I'm only going to focus on the highest points of the face. So here, down my nose, on my chin, and just like here. So putting highlighter underneath the foundation tends to give that glow from within look. If that's what you're for, if you don't like it to be too dramatic when it comes to a highlight, which I mean everyone is going crazy over highlight these days, including me. So I will put this on and then I'll put on more highlight later, obviously. Now when it comes to foundation first or eyeshadow first, for some reason, for me personally, foundation first always works better for me, and it's just kind of a habit that I've got myself into. There are no specific rules, and this is what I learned when I did my certificate 3 in makeup. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel comfortable, and whatever makes you feel beautiful is what you should do. So today's foundation is the Mecca Max Life Proof Longwear Foundation. This is the 4th time that I'll be using this, and I absolutely love it so far. It has not given my skin any issues, no breakouts, nothing like that. And it also comes with a pump. When it comes to the shade range, there are only 8 shades. It was either this one, which is a tiny bit light for me, and the next shade up, which is the darkest in their shade, which is a bit too dark for me. So I ended up getting the light one, and I'm gonna bronze my face up to make the foundation look better. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hands, like I think that was maybe 2 full pumps. So I'm just gonna go in with the Sigma foundation brush and put that on my skin. The way I avoid caking up my foundation and my concealer is that I keep this space under here completely free of foundation, just because I want to keep that purely for concealer only. So I'm going to use my Real Techniques buffing brush. It's one of my favorite foundation buffing brushes. It's just so soft and it really makes the blending super easy. So remember to really get up there into the hairline. So this is one layer of the foundation, which makes my skin look like skin. It's still kind of natural, and there's not too, like, my skin texture looks quite even, with the exception of my little blemish here, and obviously here there's no foundation there. So I'm just going to add about half a pump more. The first product that I got is the Models Prefer Essential Brow Kit in the shade medium to dark. Now this is the first ever time that I am using this product, so it will be basically a first impressions for this product. So it comes in a little black case like that. Okay, can't open it. Oh, there we go. And it also comes with a decent sized mirror, and it's got the pomade and the filling powder. It's also got a little angle brush and some tweezers. Okay, so now I'm just going to brush out my eyebrows like that. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the filling powder first. Just this one over here with their little brush. I don't know, oh, I don't like this brush. Oh no, I am not a fan of this brush. I don't know how to pick up powder with it. Okay, we'll make it work. I basically fill in my brows the way that it's supposed to look, the natural shape. Okay, this brush is not working for me, so I'm not going to use it. Now I'm going to use my own angled brush. This is my Sigma angled brush that I use for my brows. I feel like this filling powder might be a little bit too light for my brows. So I'm going to dip into the pomade, which I think I will like a lot better so far. Usually when I use a brow kit, I always just use the pomade. But since this, oh wow, yeah. Since this is a first impression, I thought I'd use both. Okay, so the pomade is really, really nice. Very nice. So I'm not going to be doing no Instagram brows today. I'm just going to do my brows like I normally would on a normal, you know, on a normal day. The only thing I'm going to do with my brows is just elongate them. My brows are already so thick that I don't want to thicken them too much. This pomade is extremely pigmented, so really nice, so I really like it. It's super soft. Okay, so always go in with a spoolie and just brush out your eyebrows once again. Just to blend in any of the strokes that you might see. So, first impressions of this. Did not like the powder, did not like the brush. I loved the pomade though. So, if they had this in just the pomade, I would definitely go for it. But yeah, I will be continuing to use this. Now I'm going to do another first impressions. I've also gone ahead and bought the Models Prefer Sunsetter eyeshadow palette. I'm not too sure what kind of look I'm going to do today. All I know is it's a classic look. I just don't know what colors I'm going to do. I might focus on the upper row right there. I'm going to conceal my eyelids. Why do we do that? It helps bring out the pigment. It gives your eyelid, especially people who have kind of like veiny eyelids, it gives your eyelid a chance to be neutral. It helps your eyelid have a neutral tone, so there are no blue or green or purple veins. So I don't know if you guys can see the difference. On this side it is a neutral shade, on this side it is slightly darker, and that is the magic of concealer. I am using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, which has been one of my favorites ever since I got it. Using a fluffy brush. Now when it comes to eyeshadow brushes, very simple rule. The fluffy ones, so fluffy brushes like this are perfect for blending. Brushes that are flat brushes like this are perfect for packing on shadows, sorry. And then you've got your kind of buffing brushes. Anything that is fluffy and not too dense are great for blending. Anything that is dense, packed and flat, it doesn't have to be flat, but mostly dense, is perfect for packing on eyeshadows. So I'm going to set my concealer on the eye with this shade here. This is the shade Lantern, and I'm just going to remember to always tap off the excess. So the reason it's going to this shade here called A Glow, and it's kind of like a coral orange shade. So this is an e.l.f. blending eye brush. So starting on the outside with an extremely light hand, we're going to use this as our transition color. Now, a transition color is a shade you use to allow the other darker shades to blend into without it looking so harsh. I have no idea if that made any sense. I hope it did. So you want to build up the transition shade. Now, I don't have a lot of lid space to work with, so I have to keep in mind not to go up too high, otherwise it would look a little funny. Okay, now I'm just going to go into my other blending brush, and I'm just going to blend out the edges, just so it doesn't look too harsh. Alright. Now with the same brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Blaze, which is kind of like a brick red shade or brick orange. And working in the same space and not going any further high or any higher, I'm going to work in this C section here. I don't know if you guys can see, it's more like, it's okay, it's probably not a C, the letter C, it's probably a little bit confusing, but you're going to just work in this like half circle, I guess. And you see how you're kind of building dimension? Blending is your best friend. Okay, I'm still using the same brush, and I'm going to go in with this shade here called Bonfire, which is almost a brown. It is a brown shade. Now you want to focus that in the same area, but don't go in all the way to here, just keep it on the outside. I'm just going to get the Sigma blending brush, and I'm just going to blend everything together. So usually after I've done my eyeshadow, I don't completely finish the eye just yet. I go to the rest of my face and finish off everything else. Do the concealer as well. It's just how I work. I don't know, it's just something that I always do. If you want to finish the eye, go ahead, but this is what I do. So I'm going to go in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and this is in the shade Medium Dark. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put concealer on. This is also a great time to clean up anything that's here. So if you're doing a very dramatic look that goes all the way out and you want it to be a clean, crisp line, if you don't like using the tape method, I tend to use the concealer method, which is where you get a very fine, let me see, a very nice and flat concealer brush. So just a concealer brush like this, and it's the perfect way to clean up any mistakes. It's how I clean up my eyeliner if I've done a mistake, because let's face it, I've made plenty of eyeliner mistakes. So yeah, it's the perfect way to clean up mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead and use this fluffy, slightly dense brush. It is just a random brush, I think, that I got from eBay. If you're getting brushes from eBay, there's no issue with it. You just have to remember to clean it, triple clean it if you have to, let it dry and then use it, because we don't know what they've been dipped in, what they're made of, what they're coated in, you know, to keep its shape, things like that. So just be extra careful. So I'm going to go in with my Revlon beauty sponge and just kind of really get in there under the eye and just blend it all out. So I don't usually bake my face, but I do definitely bake underneath, just really like close to the tear duct, because I do get a little bit creasy there. So I'm going to go in with the Motives Cosmetics Luminous Loose Powder in the shade Banana, and I'm just going to put it on the same sponge. Okay, I'm not going to pour that because it's going to go everywhere. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the flat side of the sponge here. Is it gonna focus? Okay, there you go. So just dip it in like that, and before the concealer sets entirely, so you're gonna have to want to do this quickly, just put it right underneath the eye. So what the powder does is it initially stops the concealer from setting into the creases of your eyes. So I know I look pretty funny. So just a brush like that, and just go ahead and sweep off. I only left it there for about a minute. So now we're going to go in and finish the eyes on a dense flat brush. I'm going to use, I'm going to go in with the shade here called Beacon, which is a nice gold shade. Now it actually says on the package that for maximum shadow intensity to dampen the brush. So I'm going to dip my brush into Beacon, just really pack it in on both sides. I'm going to spray my brush with the Mecca Cosmetica Makeup Perfecting Mist to dampen it. Just one spray on each side, and then I'm just going to apply it to the immediate lid. So the pigment's probably not as strong as I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna try and pick up a little bit more. It's not really picking up too much on my brush, but there's something there. It's actually quite pretty, I don't mind it. But the pigment definitely isn't as strong as I thought it would be. It's still pretty though. But I'm going to really like claw into the the eyeshadow, and try and pick up as much as I can. So with another brush, just another flat brush, I'm going to dip into Bonfire, the shade here, and I'm just going to line my bottom lashes, not my waterline, my lashes, just for dimension. try and stick to the outer 3/4. You don't want to go all the way inside, all the way in, because you don't want to make your eyes seem smaller. Unless you do, then more power to you, but my eyes are already quite small, so I'm just going to stick to the outside. And I'm going to use that same brush that I used before to pick up the shimmer, the Beacon shade, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner of my eye, and that will just brighten up my eye a little bit. So that is basically the shadows all done. I haven't used too many shades to really give this palette a full proper review. Overall it looks beautiful. The matte shades are very nice. I'm not too sure about the shimmery shades just yet. The first one that I did dip into didn't pick up quite well, so I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay, it is eyeliner time. So a lot of people on my Instagram say, how do I do such a perfect wing liner? It took a lot of practice, and I found that the easiest way to apply liner is with the felt tip pen liners. So this is the new Nina the matte pen eyeliner. So what I do is I start in the middle, small easy strokes in the middle, another, and I just kind of like connect the dots. Oh no, that was so blurry, I'm sorry. So basically I just connect line to line, and then I start bringing it out. It also depends on your eye shape to see what kind of wing you want, because there are so many wings. I usually just do a little line first like that. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's a very, very little line, and then I just keep elongating it till where I want it to stop. And sometimes you will make a mistake, it happens. This is why the concealer brush and some concealer is your best friend, or even primer. Getting a little bit of primer or concealer and just kind of wiping it upwards will give you the perfect flick. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about making a mistake, because you can clean it up, you know. I'm going to go ahead and apply some lashes. These Allure ones are my favorite brand of lashes, and this is the 3-dimensional one. I'm just going to use the glue that they already have. I've already used this pair, so it's already been trimmed down. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes for people who use lashes for the first time. You don't know that you can trim down your lashes to fit your eye, because everyone's eye length and eye shape is different. So don't be afraid to just grab some scissors and just nip off the excess. So that is what the lash with the glue looks like. This is how I hold the lash with my tweezers. So when I place it on, it's just sits on top like that. So sit on top, put down one side. Watch that glue on the bottom of mine. Alright. So press down one side and press down the other. Don't make any subtle movements, and just kind of press it down with your finger as you let it dry. And there you have the lash that is on. So what you want to do is you want to go in with a a black liner and just kind of go over the glue a little bit, just so you can't see. Okay, so we're almost there, I promise. The last thing that we're gonna do is, so you guys probably noticed before that I only powdered underneath my eyes. I didn't powder anywhere else. It's because I love using my Rimmel Insta Duo contour stick, and I use the contour side to cream contour. So I'm just going to buff that in. So this contour stick doesn't give you that extremely chiseled look. It's very subtle. It's kind of like a shadow that it casts, which is all good for me. And then I'm going to go in later with some contour contour powder. Okay, so I'm going to go in and contour my skin and bronze my skin up with the Mecca Max Sunlit Skin Bronzer in the shade Medium. This is one of my favorite contour shades, and I'm just going to use a medium fluffy brush. Give my nose a little bit of a shape because I do have kind of a flat nose. And then we're going to go in with some blush, the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Sweet. Just using a normal blush brush. You just want to smile so you can put the blush onto the apples of the cheeks. The second last thing is highlighter, one of my favorites. So I'm going to apply, so this is another new product. This is the Models Prefer Daybreak Ombre Highlight. Ombre highlighter. So this is in the shade Radiant Light. Ooh, it's so pretty. Oh my god, wow, it's super pretty. I love it. So I usually like to take my highlighter up to here as well, just for a little bit of light there. And then I also highlight my nose because I think it's super cute, and I also highlight my cupid's bow. And last but not least are the lips. So I'm going to go in with, this is the Australis Girl Boss Velvet Lip Cream. This is in the shade Admire, which I love. And that is finally my finished look. I know it was a long one, but I really hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed the video. I tried to be as detailed but not boring as much as I can. So I really hope you guys like this final look. And remember to subscribe and like this video as well if you haven't done so already. My name is Veronica and this is Beauty by V. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.